Okay, Chia fans, back again. You've got to make the Chia, it's got to be fixed. So why am I making these videos? Because I put a fair bit into hardware and stuff, and I want to see Chia more successful. I'm going to just start with the official pools bit, because that's what people are interested in, you know. Mostly they're just interested in, can they make $1, you know, what pools are going to be open. So I'm just going to go with pool Chia. So this is like the official one, you know, so I'm going to stick with that for today, because it's the official partner with Chia. I registered. That's all you can do at the moment, you know. So there's no fantastic news, you know. But I want people to click on it for the other reasons, which we'll get into. I mean, there is something interesting today which has happened. So if you register with that, then yeah, you can. There's still no news. But what we're getting into today is look at this graph here. Finally the net space is easing, and this is what I want. I think what I want people to watch the video for is, I don't know if you can get like a people's movement at all that can impact the net space. I mean, it may just be a case of, you know, the big data centers, they're going to look at the flip graph, yeah, which I call this is Chia Explore, which is the official thing as well. See, this all looks good, you know, for the company, but really, is it good? You know, any graph going up, I think people think, oh yeah, money, success, but really you've got to look at the flip graph, you know, the USD to terabytes. See, this is what all the small farmers, you know, are looking at. And is it going to be a people's bank or an industrial bank? I mean, that's what they have in China. They have the People's Bank of China and then the Industrial Bank of China. You see, all these small farmers and the data centers are going to look at it. Okay, if you say it's a level playing field, they're not going to, you know, the data center's not going to want to know. I mean, I've been trying to put people off Chia in a way, because all I saw, it's my addiction that I failed Ethereum because I can't buy anything. So I wanted like Red Panda, you know, you just want to be in with the tech and, you know, try and make a bit of money. But this, you know, even the data centers, look, I hope they quit. I hope the data centers look at it and say, look, I don't want this Chia all over my servers. You know, it's good publicity for the Chia network who are going to have their IPO, but ultimately it's not really good for the farmers. And if the farmers aren't making money, I don't think, you know, they're really selling an asset to the stockholders, you know, because the graph's going the wrong way. This is the money graph, and this is a net space graph, but, you know, the money's going down. And can't you I mean, you talk about burning the fees or the money for the farmers in Ethereum. What about burning the net space? You know, can't you stop the growth of net space? You know, you do bring in mechanisms and regulation to make the price good. I think that's got to be something that's tackled, is the net space. You know, I suppose they just thought they didn't really expect it to be this big, and I don't know if there's any solution to it at the moment other than like a free market economy where people say, well, that's not making money, so we'll pull out of it. But I don't think that's that wonderful for publicity for Chia. So we quickly move on. This is a bit in the Explorer. It's just in the same tabs. But if you find, you can search You can put your this is good when your wallets aren't syncing. You can copy your receive address. So I'm synced at the moment because I downloaded a new one. But before it wasn't syncing, and you can put in your address, and you can see that was about $100, but I lost that from HPOL. It's gone because Chia price is way down, you know, which I think that's the whole farmers getting zero Chia, and the pools not being out is affecting the price quite badly. So yeah, that's quite a nice little thing to check whether your money is coming in, you know, it's like a pending thing. So yeah, wanted to talk more about Chia. This is a great interview Son of a Tech did. I mean, I think it's brilliant that Bram has actually spoken to us, you know, because he's like a super top guy, you know. I hope that he warms to the idea of small farmers. You know, a lot of people say about Ethereum that they don't really like the miners or the farmers, but I think they could really be the you know, the workers behind the value. You know, if the miners see value in mining it, then they're going to keep mining it, and I think that value can move up to the shareholders or the currency holders. If the miners or the farmers aren't doing well, I think that does sort of undermine it. I mean, they agree that they want farmers and miners to some degree as a base of interest, to create interest, you know, on influence for other people, because it's got too big too soon, and I think they're trying to tackle, you know, Bitcoin too soon. Really, it's happened too soon. There's not much they can do unless they start saying to pools, you know, you know, you're too big, you've got too much net space, you can't come onto the network with that amount of space, you know, because it is making it unprofitable for the smaller guys, and to see that as a good thing, you know. And this is why, you know, what I'm talking about here is, you know, this is fiat, you know, the traditional banking system people term as fiat, you know, financial establishment. See, it's old fashioned and it's still the same. You know, the Bank of England been here for donkey's years, since the pirate days, you know, and they print the money and they lend it to the retail bankers. So it's still the same old system, you know. And when you borrow money for a house or whatever, you pay interest to them, and you know, all the money gets back. And it's a bad old-fashioned system, because I don't think people, the workers, or the you know, the peasants, workers, or the industrial class, I don't think they were very wealthy, you know, and they were probably tenants as well. They didn't own their own home. So, you know, that's what people want Bitcoin for, is to get away from all this. It's a bit with the miners. I touched on the miners here, because they're just unwanted, you know, and it's the same with I think with the Ethereum miners. They're getting a couple of dollars a day, you know. I think, you know, for your individual miner, they're just not wanted. It's another way of the establishment saying, well, you know, we just don't want these people, we don't know what to do with them, it's not profitable. I understand it's not profitable. They don't want them. But why is all this, you know, why is it important? I mean, they said the internet could change the world, make it better for the everyday guy. I mean, that's what a lot of rock and roll stars have done. There's an interview here with David Bowie about it's supposed to be about Bitcoin, the rock and roll. So yeah, if we're saying that, can Bitcoin change it? Can it make it? Well, the way I see it, as can people have more money, in their pocket to do what they want? I think that's what Bitcoin represents. Not so much of a people's, money. Not such a thing like the Bank of England, where all the money's really stuck there, or it's got to be returned there, plus your penalty of interest. It's got to go back there. That's why I was watching a bit of the David Bowie, because he's got a new film out, but it ties in with the Mars. David Bowie did the Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, and I was thinking about, does Elon Musk, is he idolised David Bowie? But it's a future icon. It's where the Bank of England, to some extent, that covers America as well, because we're still stuck like that, versus like a future tech, which we want to change things so that we've got more money. Not necessarily talking about stock market gains, because I see the miners as a number one class rather, or the farmers. They're the number one supporters of the currency, and then you got the number two, level two, layer two, where they talk about stock market people. But one can't really survive without the other. So that's why it's so important. If Chia's going to change things for the better, that NETSPACE is controlled. And I don't know whether people watch this video and they can at least think, well, yeah, I'm a solo miner or I'm a small miner. But that's what, that's why I'm doing this video, is just for people to watch and think, are they part of a community? I mean, it is growing. The polls haven't even started yet, but what do you think of Chia? Comments in the description below would be welcome. I mean, do you think there's any future? Do you think there's any way that we can influence Bram? Do you think that that's what he might want to do, is make it a people's currency? Because a lot of people have invested and they see that graph, and before they've even started, are they looking at something worse than Ethereum? If you invested £1,000 in graphics cards or £1,000 in hard drives, are the hard drives gonna do worse than the Ethereum? Is a 16 terabytes, is that now, as I'm hoping it's an older card, a 570, but is it like a 3070? Is it the same equivalent money? Your profit margin. So if you have say 6 3070s, is that equal to the amount of money in Ethereum that you make from Chia with 16 terabyte drives? Because I think it's very poor for the small farmer, and they have to put a lot of money in to get a slow return. I put this one in. I want to see some happy farmers. I mean, a paddy field, is that the sort of standard of living we're having? I think that's a lot of what Bitcoin's about. Is it a better standard of living for people? I mean, the paddy fields in China, I think we shouldn't have gone down to H-pool, because that might represent that sort of trend where it's quite a hard lifestyle, not very good. Whereas in Europe, I don't know, is it market gardening tomatoes with quite, more affluent sort of farmer? I mean, that's what we've got to aim for. Sorry, the voice is going a bit here. I mean, that's what, surely that's the, if when we look at the icons, you know, of David Bowie and the futuristic sort of thing, hopefully you're looking at a more wealthy people, you know. Okay, I think we'll leave it there with David Bowie, or it looks a bit like Elon Musk, doesn't it? But yeah, thumbs up. I hope that gives you some feeling of, or hope about the future of Chia, that maybe it can be a better thing, but perhaps only if the net space is controlled. Okay, thanks a lot guys, hope it's not too long. See you in the next one.